guys, and today I'm going to show you a very short game which led to my opponent resigning and features a double discovered attack on my opponent's queen. Nothing so far. This is important for later. Okay? This will also be important for later. Now a pawn exchange. But this is where it gets interesting now. They've moved their bishop out, which is actually unfortunate for the point I'm trying to make, because there's already an attack on the bishop. But I'm trying to show you that there was a double attack on the queen itself in a moment. Now at the moment, this is just, it just looks like the bishop, my bishop is attacking their bishop, and I could, in theory, have just taken their bishop, and then they could have taken my knight. But I wanted a better prize than that. I wanted to see if I could actually take their queen as part of a double discovered attack. Now, what is a discovered attack? Well, at present, the bishop is not directly attacking their queen at the moment because my knight is in the way. But if I move my knight out of the way, then suddenly their queen is attacked. But I'm going to do something that's quite rare, not done very often. And this is a double discovered attack on the same piece. So now I move my knight, and now you notice that the queen is being threatened by both the knight and the bishop. Now, with a rare exception of check, because you can then force another move afterwards, right? If two pieces that can move, not with the pins, but that can actually move, are attacking the same piece, the only way to save that piece is to move it. A rare exception, as I said, is where you can do continuous checks, where you could take one piece, check, and then take another piece, check. That's a very rare case where you could keep taking lots of pieces, and your opponent cannot stop you if you can keep forcing your opponent into check while you take other pieces. That's a very rare exception. But otherwise, in this particular case, the only way to protect the queen is to move it out of harm's way. Otherwise, either the knight or the bishop will take it. Now, they spotted the threat from the knight, but they didn't spot the threat from the bishop. I then took their queen, and at this point, they resigned. If they move the queen out of harm's way, for example, back again, then I might decide that the bishop, I can now take their bishop. If if, for example, there is actually a way where I've only just discovered this. There is a way for them to protect both their queen and the knight. But then they lose their bishop. So if I do this, they cannot move the knight, but they lose the bishop. But what am I doing? And if they take the bishop, so no, wait a minute, no, it was white's move, I forgot. No, it was black's move, yeah. So they could move the black out of the way, but as I say, it means I'll lose the bishop no matter what they do. They could take the bishop and offer a queen exchange. Or they could move, white could move the queen out of the way. It isn't such a good idea, possibly. But nonetheless, that's what a double check is. A double discovered attack is on the queen. Actually, that's probably would have been their best move, because then they would have gained both bishop and exchange. And they would be up a bishop, I think. So, so that would have been their best move, because then after that takes that, then you'll also notice that they could then, this is looking vulnerable, but nonetheless I just wanted to show you a double discovered attack, which in this particular case meant because they didn't spot the other attack, it meant they lost their queen. Thanks for watching. Bye.